Good morning. Today is the 24th day of Tammuz on the Jewish calendar. And in this week's Torah portion, it's a double portion. We're completing the fourth book of the Torah, the book of Bamidbar, commonly called the book of Numbers. And it's very much about the Jewish journey in the desert. Bamidbar means in the desert. And it's, as far as the narrative, it comes pretty much to the end in this week's Torah portion, because the first four books of the Torah are the unfolding from creation through the Jews coming to the doorstep of the promised land. And the fifth book of the Torah is Moses talking in the first person in the last 5 weeks of his life and recapping things to the Jews. So as far as the unfolding of the history, it's pretty much all right now, all going on right now in this week's Torah portion. Now, the second Torah portion, called Maseh, which means journeys, travels, it lays out 42 different places that the Jews traveled to and encamped in their 40 years in the desert. So it just goes, it's pretty repetitious. You're in the synagogue on Shabbos, you'll hear they travel from here to there, they camp there, they travel to there, they camp there, and they travel there. And in one of the places it stops and says that they left a place called Mara, which was early on in the journey, and they came to a place called Elim. And there it says there was 12 streams of water and 70 palm trees, which palms had dates. So the question is, why does it elaborate there? And for several million people, how much good are 70 palms going to do for you, or 12 streams of water? One of the insights is that Mara, the place they were in, Mara means like maror. It's the same word, it means bitter. They'd come out of Egypt, and there was a certain bitterness about life. And there in the Torah narrative, way back when the Torah was describing the Jewish exodus from Egypt, it says there that they drank water and the water was bitter. That's why they called the place bitterness. In other words, they were bitter and they experienced the world in a bitter way, which can happen psychologically. When you're bitter, it's hard to feel sweetness and happiness. What happened at Mara? At Mara, they were given a few mitzvahs, mitzvah Shabbos. And in Torah thinking, when we have a mitzvah, which is an opportunity to look at life as meaningful, an opportunity to feel that we matter, an opportunity for us to connect with the divine, that puts a very different frame around life. And it's encouraging. It's upbeat. We, as tiny humans with our problems, we have the ability for cosmic importance and cosmic impact. So with the mitzvahs in this reading, they left Mara. They left the bitter attitude. And what did they do? They came to another place and they were able to see beauty. They were able to see, wow, we have 12 streams of water. We have 70 ponds. Now, it's inadequate. And certainly someone could say, what did we find there? We found nothing. 12 streams of water? 70 ponds? The Torah is indicating to us that when we have a more positive frame of reference for looking at life, we look at life's blessings and we don't see where they fall short. We see they're positive. We see their contribution, and we grow them, because the fact is that the Jews ended up with miraculous sources of water. They went with for 40 years. They didn't lack anything, It wasn't just about these 12 streams of water. It was what we'll call the beginning of a blessing, and recognizing the blessing increases and amplifies it. So in the Jewish journey in the desert, which is our journey for our own desert, towards our own promised land, even July 16th in 2020, Torah teaches us that when we're in a negative frame of mind, the world will feel negative, bitter. A tried and true way out of it is to connect with something transcendent, God. And when we do, blessings become blessings. And when we appreciate blessings, we broaden the conduit, we broaden the flow. I wish you a day of blessing and a day of appreciation for the blessings we have, and may they be amplified and amplified.